Hello, I'm Al League, the CTO of Farmspace Systems, and I'm here to share with you some insights about COVID Finder, a DHS SVIP sponsored initiative focusing on COVID-19 response and future mitigation. Farmspace Systems, in partnership with the University of Tennessee Health Sciences Center's Regional Biocontainment Laboratory and their Center for Biomedical Informatics, working with League of Your Own, together formulated a concept to reduce latency, have a capability that created no bio waste, and had high throughput in order to screen populations as they move into common areas, effectively creating safe zones. And what we've designed is a three-layer approach to that. It's composed of a point of passage. The point of passage portal is something much like a body scanner, except all you have to do is step into the booth and exhale, an image of your breath is taken, and then the signatures that are exemplar of viral load in your exhalation cloud are compared with signatures in an image library that have been refined through our laboratory testing to determine if you have the virus or not. It can also be upgraded for future viruses simply with a software update. The throughput is rapid. There is no latency as the results are available immediately. And it enables screening of all people entering a given area every time. So there's no taking a test and waiting for results and having some credential. It's on the spot every time entry. The way it works is this. A person enters the point of passage, breathes in, and exhales out. As they exhale out, we image that breath. If immediate response is that there is no viral load of any of the signatures that we have in the library, which is upgradable, then the person can continue on to their workplace, their ship, their public transportation, or that stadium on a Saturday for their favorite college football game. However, if the signature in their breath comes within the bounds of the variables for the signature of a known virus, then they would be referred to our point of care station. Now, we don't provide the point of care station. That's subject to local authority and will normally be a medical facility or adjacent medical booth set up near our point of passage layer 1. The third layer of COVID Finder is anonymized data. And this is data that we've collected. It's only the signatures, no relationship to the identity of the person. And we do that because we're constantly using that data to refine the signatures that we have for both positive and non-viral loaded breaths, and also discover if there perhaps are unique signatures showing up that are unexpected that might be a tripwire for a future pandemic or infectious disease that's spreading that has yet to be discovered. COVID Finder's phase 1 was focused on the building of a point of passage portal prototype. The equipment and sensors integrated in this portal had never been used in this way before, but did validate our hypothesis that you could have immediate results in less than 3 seconds, disinfect the booth in less than 10 seconds, creating a potential throughput of over 300 people per hour with no expendables, no biohazard, low maintenance, and easy operation. Let's take a look at the booth. This is our initial design study and prototype of the point of passage portal for COVID Finder. As a person to be screened steps into the booth, all they have to do is step up and take a normal exhalation. The imaging system here takes a picture of the cloud of their breath coming out, and immediately, 0.3 of a second, analyzing it compared to our library of signatures looking for respiratory contagions such as COVID-19 in its disease form, which is, of course, the SARS-CoV-2 virus wrapped in the antibodies and the proteins as it comes out of a person's respiratory system. After that breath is exhaled, the reading is taken, then the person is asked to either step through the booth because they're clear to go, they show no signs of a respiratory infection, or if they do show signs, they'll be asked to step to layer 2 for medical screening. After the individual leaves the booth, either directed to medical screening or on to their point of destination, a UVC 222 powered disinfecting system kicks on in the booth and immediately scrubs it for any bacteria or viruses in less than 5 seconds. This is the canister form here in our prototype, but in the production version, the lighting elements in the filtration system will be mounted in the ceiling to immediately flash the inside of the booth and evacuate any residual bacteria or virus after it's killed. Therefore, sanitizing the booth and ensuring that the next person to enter it is entering a clean environment where only their breath will be sampled. The COVID Finder imager recognizes the SARS-CoV-2 as it is attacked by antibodies clustering around it, increasing its volume and the amount of energy it reflects. These clusters form and begin to bind together. Millions of these clusters, aerosolized in a single exhalation, create the recognizable marker, what many of us have heard of as a viral load. That viral load is identified through our AI-enabled processing by a deviation in the expected signature of a breath from a healthy breath. Let's look at the components. The components of the point of passage portal are here in the control area of our booth. They actually consist of 3 distinct elements. The first is a fluorescent hyperspectrometer, which is collecting the fluorescence of anything in the booth. Currently, it's collecting ambient fluorescence from ambient light. In order to refine the signature to understand the fidelity of viruses and respiratory contagions, however, it's necessary to add energy to this ambient environment. And that's provided through a 405 nanometer, 160 milliwatt blue light laser, which is slaved to the hyperfluorescent imager. Now that laser is filtered and downsampled to 50 milliwatts to ensure that there's no risk to humans. And in the production version, there will actually be baffles that will not allow the laser to be exposed to the human. In addition, there will be laser trip locations to shut down the imaging capability should the subject get into an area that creates risk for them. One other safety factor that's going to be engaged in the production version, there's going to be a face recognition capability integrated into the fluorescent hyperspectrometer. Face recognition in a way that we've not thought about using it before. Instead of recognizing your face, it will recognize that it sees a face and automatically shut itself down. We're not collecting anyone's image here. We're only interested in the effluent cloud, their exhaled breath, and the elements and compounds that are aerosolized within it. So this system is then connected to this Middleton Spectral Industrial Computer, which is doing dynamic image processing effectively of that hyperspectral image that's being collected. And then the monitor allows the operator to ensure that the system is running. Now what you see currently, again, is just ambient signal from fluorescence that is occurring within the areas of the studio that we're bringing this to you from. So these components integrated make up the heart and soul of COVID Finder. Notice right now, this is again background fluorescence coming from the area light. We don't require a darkened space for this capability. It can sit in an office environment in a government facility lobby, at the opening to your place of worship, or in its deployable, solar-powered, battery-supported version, be set up around stadiums like the Super Bowl, where we can fill that stadium with safely screened people in less than 2.5 hours with our 300 person per hour throughput rate. So I'm now going to step into the booth and show you what that looks like. Watch the signal as it changes as I release the surrogate for my exhalation. And I'm now exhaling. Ready? Just some of the advantages of COVID Finder are that it is truly a real-time screening system. The actual image processing itself takes 0.3 of a second. It's touchless. It's a form factor like a body scanner that people are familiar with. It's open. It generates no bio-waste, and there's no invasive procedure. COVID Finder, when deployed in volume, can act as a tripwire. We can recognize surges and anomalies and even refer new diseases for identification based on signatures. It's easily enhanced through dynamic updates, so effectively we're future-proof. And we can evolve to offer early detection beyond just pandemics, but for other health conditions. Farmspace Systems Ventures, sponsored by the Department of Homeland Security's Silicon Valley Innovation Program, is changing the way that our society will deal with the current and future pandemics. Through implementing technologies like COVID Finder, this three-layered approach that screens, medically diagnoses, and acts as a tripwire through aggregation of information, we can effectively democratize access to medical care and make our society safe. We're happy to take your questions, or feel free to reach out to Lieutenant General Castela or myself, Al League, at the contacts as shown.